All right, welcome back to your next Above the Clouds card. We are using Pretty Peacock cardstock, and that's cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. We're using a piece of basic black cardstock that we're just going to hand cut into a banner and the oval stitch shapes, and I've already cut that out, and we're going to blend using our Saffron blends to color the balloon, and then these I'm going to stamp in Memento Black at the bottom corner. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with my light Saffron, and remember, when you're using the blends, you want to make sure that you're using your black Memento ink. Otherwise, if you use any other type of ink, it's going to run, and you don't want that to happen. So I'm coloring, and if I don't get all the spaces colored, that's okay. I'm going to come back with the darker color and add some shadowing. So if I leave a few white spaces, I think that'll be all right. And I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I want to do, I think I'll do the banner and a little bit, the basket in the darker color. So let's go ahead and pull in our dark. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to run some around the edges here, just to try to see if the sun might be on that side, that there may be some shadowing. So I'm going to put a little bit here and a little bit there. Now I'm going to come back with my light color, and I'm going to do some swirls, and I'm using the bigger tip because I've got a little bit more space. If I was in a small space, I would not. I'd use the smaller end. And remember, if you're not familiar with the blends, there are two lines on the marker. This one means it's the fat tip like that, and then this one is like a pencil, the smaller tip. So what you want to do is just take your, once you place your dark on there to get it shadowed, then you want to come back with your lighter color, and you just want to blend over it. That kind of disperses the ink around, but it leaves enough of a little bit of a darker color to where you're getting a shadow. All right, and you can just keep coloring however dark you want this to be, and it doesn't have to be exact. That could be reflections from the sun. And let me blend this one, because you can tell this one hasn't been blended because it was standing out a little bit more so than others. And I'm going to do the basket in yellow as well. So we're just going to make all this look like it goes together. I am going to add some birds in the background because I think they're high enough that they're not going to have any clouds, but they're going to have some birds. So we'll place a couple of birds like right here. It's a pretty easy card as well. So again, I try to keep these simple so that you can mass produce these if needed. And let me move this out of the way. All right, so we're going to take back to our original card here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my cardstock, and I'm going to fold it. And I want to make sure that my edges are lined up, and they are. So I'm going to fold that and then bring my bone folder in and give it a good crisp crease. Now this we're going to make into a banner. Now this one's going to be a little bit smaller than that one, but that's okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball where I think the center mark is, and then I'm going to come from the outside corner in on each side. And that way I have made a banner. So if you don't have a banner punch, this is a quick, easy way that you can go ahead and make a banner. There you go. You could, if you wanted, you could emboss the back of the card with something, whatever you prefer. I'm going to leave it the way I have it. I'm going to go ahead and add some dimensionals to the back of my balloon. I'm going to put 4 on here because this is a pretty good size. I think those birds make a big difference. All right, so we're going to attach, I'm going to move him over a little bit. We're going to put him right there. And then we're going to stamp our balloons. We're just going to stamp them in the Memento Black. Well, let's stamp them down here because that's how I have this one with the sentiment. I'm going to leave this one off the edge so it doesn't get on my cardstock. So we're just going to put 2 balloons right there. Oh, I think that looks nice. And again, now we're going to bring in, and I'm going to bring a different sentiment in on this one. This one is Life is a Beautiful Ride. So I'm going to ink that up with my black, and I'm just going to put it right down here between these balloons. Our card is completed. Isn't that pretty? So look at that. We moved it over just a little bit to the left. We added, which I kind of like, it fills in this looks like a little bit open space there. And this one, I did not pop it up on dimensionals. It's laid flat. And this one I did, and I think it looks much better. And we stamped the balloons in black and the sentiment. And all you need to do now is place a piece of white cardstock on the inside, decorate a little bit, maybe with some balloons or the birds, and we're all set. There you go on that card.